Assalamu alaikum students. Biology class 9th. We have completed first chapter, which is the introduction to biology. Now we are going to start the structural organization of life, the second chapter. Structural organization of life. It's a very lengthy chapter, so for our own convenience, I have divided this chapter into three parts. Part number 1 includes the contents, cell theory, diagram of animal cell, diagram of plant cell, nucleus, plastate, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, mitochondria, centrosome, ribosome, and prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, cell division, animal and plant tissues. Up to here, it will be the part 1. Now the part 2 contains detailed study of Brassica plant. Brassica, a multicellular flowering plant, we have to study in detail. And the third part of this chapter is detailed study of frog, a multicellular animal, frog. So we are going to start the chapter. First of all, the cell theory. You know that the cell is the basic functional and structure unit, and Sheldon and Schwann, they were two biologists who presented the cell theory. According to this, he said that every living organism is composed of cells, one or more cells. Secondly, he said that the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of an organism. And third point was that the new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Pre-existing, जो पहले से ही cells मौजूद हों, उससे नए सेल बनते हैं. तो 3 points here of the cell theory. Number 1, every living thing is composed of cells. एक या एक से ज़्यादा cells पर मुश्तमिल होते हैं. Second point is that the cell is the basic structure function unit, and the third point, new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. This is called the cell theory. Okay. Now come to the cell. What is the structure of a cell? You know that all the living things are into two categories, animal and plant. So the cells are also animal cell and plant cells, but the basic components are same. Some of the components are only found in animal cells, and some of the components are found only in plant cells. This is called the difference between animal and plant cells. So, but the basic structure are the same. Cell consists of the following part. A typical cell. Number 1, cell wall or cell membrane. In the case of plant cell wall is found, and in the case of animal cell membrane is found. It is the outer covering which covers the cells. Secondly is the nucleus. Nucleus is a very important cell organelle, and third one is the cytoplasm. Inside material, inside the covering material, cytoplasm जो मौजूद होता है outer covering के अंदर, cytoplasm is found. अगर हम न्यूक्लियस को निकाल दें तो अब जो इनर मटेरियल कहलाता है वो इट इज़ कॉल्ड साइटोप्लाज्म. बट व्हेन वी इंक्लूड न्यूक्लियस इनटू साइटोप्लाज्म, साइटोप्लाज्म प्लस न्यूक्लियस इज इक्वल टू प्रोटोप्लाज्म. बच्चे कंफ्यूज होते हैं व्हाट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन साइटोप्लाज्म एंड प्रोटोप्लाज्म. द डिफरेंस इज़ दैट कि अगर हम साइटोप्लाज्म पे न्यूक्लियस को शामिल करके बोलें तो प्रोटोप्लाज्म है, और अगर हमने न्यूक्लियस को निकाल दिया तो अब ये साइटोप्लाज्म कहलाता है. सो न्यूक्लियस के अलावा रेस्ट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनेल्स विल कॉल्ड सेल ऑर्गेनेल्स, साइटोप्लाज्मिक ऑर्गेनेल्स. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल we will study the outer covering of the cell. As I have already told you that in the animal cell there is a cell membrane, outer covering is a cell membrane, and in the case of plant the outer covering is cell wall. Before we study the cell, keep it in your mind an egg. An egg is a complete cell. आप एग को, अंडे को अपने जहन में रखें, ये एक कंप्लीट सेल है. द हार्ड शेल ऑफ द एग इज़ लाइक सेल वॉल, एंड द इनर स्किन ऑफ द एग, अंदर जो झिल्ली होती है मेम्ब्रेन वाइट कलर की होती है, द इनर मेम्ब्रेन इज़ लाइक cell membrane. So the outer covering, what is the difference between the cell wall and the cell membrane? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये कि सेल मेम्ब्रेन एनिमल सेल का आउटर कवरिंग है और सेल वॉल प्लांट सेल का आउटर कवरिंग है. सेकेंड डिफरेंस इज दैट सेल मेम्ब्रेन इज ए लिविंग है, साथ साथ सेल के बढ़ता है, बट द सेल वॉल इज नॉन लिविंग. एंड थर्ड डिफरेंस, इट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन एंड लिपिड, जबकि प्लांट सेल का वॉल मेड अप ऑफ सेल्यूलोज and pectin. These are two chemical substances. And the fourth is it has one layer and cell wall has 3 layers. This is the difference. अगर एग्ज़ाम में आता है शॉर्ट नोट तो आप डिफरेंस नहीं देंगे, जस्ट आप इसको एक पैराग्राफ बना के यू विल राइट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ पैराग्राफ. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट कम, दिस इज़ द डायग्राम ऑफ एनिमल सेल. अभी हमने जो स्टडी किया सेल मेम्ब्रेन. वेयर इज द सेल मेम्ब्रेन? इट इज़ द आउटर कवरिंग. दिस वन इज द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. इट इज़ द आउटर कवरिंग cell membrane. Look at the diagram, look at the picture of an animal cell. All the cell organelles are found here. Inside the outer covering, the substance found is called protoplasm. The whole substance is called protoplasm. लेकिन जब हम न्यूक्लियस को निकाल के बोलेंगे, when we omit the nucleus, then it will call cytoplasm. लेकिन जब न्यूक्लियस को शामिल करेंगे, it will call protoplasm. Okay, now all the cell organelles are found here. Number one, nucleus. It is the nucleus. You are looking at the picture, nucleus at the center. What is the location of the nucleus? It was discovered by a biologist known as Robert Brown. The position of the nucleus is, it is found in animal cell. What is the location? It is found at the center. Center position is in the animal cell. What is the shape of the nucleus? You are looking at the picture. What is the shape? It is round or spherical in shape. Okay. In plant cell, the nucleus is found at the corner, not at the center, but animal cell at the center. This nucleus is covered by a membrane. It is called nuclear membrane. This nucleus is covered with a nuclear membrane, and in the nuclear membrane there are very small tiny pores. A large number of pores are here in the nuclear membrane. Okay, now inside the nucleus is the nucleoplasm. This one is the nucleoplasm. All the gelatinous material is called nucleoplasm. In the nucleoplasm, chromatin network thread-like structure is found. Nucleoplasm contains thread-like structure and the nucleoles. You see here, this is the nucleoles. Yes, nucleoli, and a network of chromatin network is called chromatin network. Okay, inside the nucleus, this chromatin network, when the cell starts to divide, when the cell is ready to divide, this chromatin network converts itself into chromosomes. Okay, जब ये सेल तैयार होता है डिवीजन के लिए, तो ये जो क्रोमैटिन नेटवर्क है ये क्रोमोसोम्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. ओके, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर विल बी इन rest of the lecture. I will deliver it in the next lecture.